Hello, everybody, and welcome to Detta Stadium here in Batavia, the site of tonight's Class B clash between two unbeaten teams, Batavia and HFL. My name is Alex Brasky for the Batavia Daily News, alongside Pete Carosa of the Mendon Honeoye Falls Lima Sentinel, here to take you through tonight's action. Should be a good one between two quality programs who are both off to unblemished starts to the season. Before we kick things over to Pete and get his thoughts on tonight's game, I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor, Casella Waste. Whether you're looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster, or roll-off service for your place of business, call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Casella, always putting your waste to work. Call 585-308-0662 today for a quote. Also, TF Brown's right here in Batavia. Whether you're looking for a great place for lunch or dinner, a place to relax and enjoy a beverage, or planning any type of party or get-together, TF Brown's is ready to meet your needs and budget. Also, Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer, selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower, and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, or visit in person right in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds on Route 5 in Batavia. Also, Genesee Community College is having a drive-through open house on Saturday, October 16th. Register online at genesee.edu/visit. George & Swede Sales and Service is a full-service equipment dealership located in Pavilion. Established in 1983, George & Swede has been providing exceptional sales, rentals, parts, and service for over 35 years. That's George & Swede Sales and Service. Also, Western New York Concrete. But before that, we see the entrance here. I think coming from the Blue Devils in a moment. But before that, we'll take you to Kenneth Klein, licensed realtor at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Kenneth is providing you with the same level of service when purchasing or selling your home. You can count on Kenneth to be there every step of the way. Kenneth looks forward to working with you on your home sweet home. Call Kenneth now at 585-297-0764. Also, KMS Dance Academy. There's still time to join in on the fun. Call or text 585-409-6875. This is our 5th year, and we've only just begun. KMS Dance Academy, dream big and believe.
It's also a special night this evening as we will be honoring the 30th anniversary of the 1991 state championship Batavia High.
And we do want to make sure we did skip over one of our fabulous sponsors here tonight, Western New York Concrete. Pave your way to success. Since 1946, we've been proud to provide our concrete services throughout the Genesee County and Western New York area. Contact Western New York Concrete today for custom concrete driveways, custom concrete patios, and more. Western New York Concrete, 585-343-6850. All right, as we await introductions for both sides, we'll kick things over to Pete Carosa for the Mendon Honeoye Falls Lima Sentinel. Pete, you've had a good look at HFL throughout this season, and a lot of Batavia viewers tuning in tonight wondering what to expect from the Cougars. From your perspective, what can we see from head coach John Russ and his group here tonight?
Yeah, Alex, well, we got here over an hour before kickoff. The parking lot was already full. Tailgating, cornhole, fans from both of these two teams out there having a good time. I think we're going to expect to see the hype that this game has been billed as between two undefeated teams and a rematch of that Class B championship game. only a couple months ago in May. Now for the Cougars, they had to reload this offseason after losing 20 seniors to graduation. Well, they're back. Some new faces, some familiar faces, similar style of offense, as it looks like the Batavia Blue Devils are just about to come out here, Alex.
And look at this Blue Zoo in attendance here tonight, ready to pop, as it looks like HFL also brought a cheering section with them this evening. So as Pete alluded to, and we'll hear more from Pete about what to expect from the Cougars here tonight, but as he alluded to, a great atmosphere here at Detta Stadium, where the 1991 Batavia State Championship football team will be honored at halftime. So be sure to tune in for that ceremony coming up at the halftime break. As here come the HFL Cougars. And there are the Cougars, head coach by John Russ, but here come the Batavia Blue Devils. And listen to that crowd get after it. Like I said, they're ready to go here tonight. And we already heard from Pete on the Cougars, 5-0 coming into this game. The number 4 team in Class B, according to the New York State Sports Writers Association. The number 5 team, you're looking at them, the Batavia Blue Devils, also 5-0 this season. Batavia's just simply been a wagon this year. 3 shutouts on the season, a 41-0 romp over Bishop Kearney, Rochester Prep, Rochester Academy in week 1, followed up by a 41-8 victory over Attica in week 2, a 42-0 domination of Geneva in week 3, 55-0 over Pell Mac in week 4, and then they dispatched Dansville, Wayland, Cohocton last week, 41-12. The Blue Devils have outscored their opponents 220-20. Pete, why don't you take us through HFL's schedule thus far?
Yeah, HFL also undefeated, 5-0. They started with a Class C opponent, defending champions, Livonia Bulldogs. They knocked them off 28-6. Then they went on the road to Newark and beat them 49-6. Then they faced Wilson Magnet, to shut them out 27-0. And then they had a close game, came down to about the last possession, that Wayne game. Final score 21-20, came down to a PAT kick. And then last week at homecoming, they defeated Bishop Kearney, Rochester Prep, Rochester Academy Charter 35-6, and they've outscored opponents 160-40.
So 2 Class B Titans, as we mentioned already. This should be a great game. We pause for a moment for the national anthem. a fantastic rendition of the national anthem from Batavia student Abby Horbelt. So we're ready to go here. Batavia and HFL, minutes away from kickoff. Once again, Alex Brasky and Pete Carosa welcoming you in for what should be as high profile a matchup as it's been discussed to be over the past several weeks. We've already taken a look at the schedules for each team. Take a look at the stars for each side. Batavia, led by senior quarterback Jesse Reinhardt, has completed 37 of 58 passes on the season for 650 passing yards, 12 passing touchdowns, and he's also added 121 rushing yards and 3 rushing scores. His favorite target has been junior wide receiver Carter McFarland's 10 receptions, 166 yards, and 6 scores for him. His brother Javen has caught 6 balls for 161 yards and 3 touchdowns as well. The Batavia running game, powered by junior running back Aiden Anderson, 51 carries, 457 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. And they all do their work behind a talented offensive line centered by junior Garrett Schmidt, left tackle Austin Fernandez, who weighs in at 290 pounds and stands 5'11". Also Abel Hammer on the other side, the right tackle, another senior, 5'10", 255 pounds. Inside at right guard, Parker Kleinbach, a junior, 5'11", 200 pounds. And at left guard, junior Matthew McQuethy, 5'7", 208 pounds. Defensively for the Blue Devils, Caden Marucci, a senior linebacker, has propelled their efforts on that side of the ball. 30 tackles on the season, 10 for a loss, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and 1 defensive touchdown for the senior linebacker. Pete, if you could, why don't you take us through some statistics for the Cougars?
Yeah, so the Cougars are led by a new signal caller, like I mentioned earlier. Brody Young, senior quarterback, was Reese Joint's understudy a season ago, and he's really stepped up into that role, completing just about 63% of his passes. He's got 9 passing touchdowns. Nolan Smith, leading receiver, 14 receptions, 200-plus yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. Then you have Ben Carson. He's got 3 receiving touchdowns. And J.T. Killenbeck, who's an all-around weapon for this Cougar team. He's got 146 receiving yards. On defense, player to watch, Ryan Gary, linebacker, and defensive lineman Mitchell Bowling. Some other players to watch, Carson Joint, he's a two-way starter. He plays middle linebacker and center. Charlie Kirby, right tackle. We already mentioned Bowling. And then Hayden Meehan, their left guard. He's kind of another weapon on special teams and somebody he'll sub in defensively, as it looks like Batavia won the toss and they're going to start with the ball, and I think they got to be prepared for a potential pooch kick here.
So here we go. We're getting set, and there's the opening kickoff. A high looping kick, not far. Received by Batavia at their own 45-yard line. That is where the Blue Devils will begin their drive. So senior quarterback Jesse Reinhardt takes the field for the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, that's something that HFL's been doing this year, and they've had some success with it, and Batavia was there to jump on the ball and not give HFL the first possession in this one, which, if this is the shootout that everyone's promising it to be, every possession's going to matter, Alex.
And listen to this buzz here at Detta Stadium. Quite the crowd on hand. So there's Reinhardt in the backfield. Next to him is Anderson. He takes the handoff, pushing his way forward for about 4 yards. So a good burst to open the drive for Batavia.
Nice solid game there for the Blue Devils, able to keep themselves on schedule. It's going to be imperative that both these offenses can make plays on first down to keep themselves on track. We talked about how good these offenses are, but these defenses are just as good.
Here's Batavia out for the second down play. You'll see them go from the shotgun along with the pistol formation consistently here tonight. Reinhardt takes a snap, looking to throw. It's complete on the near side. Running through tacklers and across the line to gain for a first down. And that's number 24, Carter McFarland.
Nice little simple swing pass there for the Blue Devils. First easy completion for Reinhardt. This is one of the better teams they've faced this year, so getting him some early confidence is good for Batavia.
And you'll see that often tonight. When Batavia goes to the air, Carter McFarland's is heavily involved, and he finds the end zone on a regular basis. So there's a little bit of pre-snap movement. Looked like it's a false start on Batavia, and it is.
Legal procedure penalty against Batavia, 5 yards. It'll be first and 15 from the Cougar 49-yard line.
So we were just talking about staying on track, and that's not what I meant by staying on track. Pre-snap penalty moves them back 5 yards.
And as we said before, everything will be key in this game with two talented teams squaring off. And we'll get to another key element of this game in a moment. Reinhardt, flush from the pocket, on the run, tucks it. Tries to force his way through a couple of HFL tacklers, but he's brought down. Looked like number 55 along with number 51. That's Ryan Gary and Louis Laviani on the tackle. But another key factor in this game could be the kicking game. And Batavia, without their starting kicker tonight, Julia Petrie, has had a great season, her first season at the varsity level. She's only missed one kick, but she's out tonight with an injury. And Alex Bartz will take over as far as PATs are concerned.
Statistically, these two quarterbacks are very similar, but I think the difference between Reinhardt and Young is Reinhardt's ability to scramble outside the pocket. We've seen that a little bit more often from him.
So a timeout called by Batavia as we catch up our score clock here. And just bear with us. It's rather difficult catching up the score clock on our end with the game clock here at Detta Stadium. So you may see a couple of seconds difference, but we'll do our best to get that caught up as soon as we can, along with the down and distance. It's 2nd and 10, about 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And once again, we just quickly like to tell you about our sponsors. Without these sponsors, we would not be able to bring you these broadcasts. Casella Waste, TF Browns, Empire Tractor, Genesee Community College, Georgian Swede Sales and Service, Western New York Concrete, and Howard Hanna, and specifically, licensed real estate salesperson Kenneth Klein. Also, KMS Dance Academy. Almost forgot about Dance Academy. So here we go. Ready for this second down play. Reinhardt flips it out. It's complete once again. McFarland's on the catch and run of about 6 yards. So 3rd and 5 coming up after the nice gain on 2nd down. Those quick passes to McFarland's can be very effective with his athleticism on the outside.
Yeah, just another short pass for Batavia. Spreading the field, trying to keep this HFL defense honest.
So this is certainly one of the budding rivalries in Section 5. Plenty of matchups in recent seasons and plenty of high-profile matchups. Another one here tonight as Anderson takes the handoff, met near the line of scrimmage and brought down. Unclear who was in on that tackle for HFL. Looked like a couple of players. Could have been 22 Zachary Meacham.
Yeah, Anderson was able to make a man miss in the backfield. He's going to wind up just short. Here's one of the first critical 3rd downs of this one, Alex.
4th down, excuse me, Pete. 4th and 3 coming up. So you're right. This is a critical moment in the game if you're Batavia, as they'll leave the offense on the field to go for it on this do-or-die 4th down play. Reinhardt out of the shotgun, hands it off. Met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Anderson didn't quite get there. Batavia is going to turn it over on downs. The Cougars are going to take over on offense.
Yeah, that was defensive tackle Riley Kester for the Cougars, who got on the running back there first to turn over, to create a turnover on down situation, and now the HFL offense coming out on the field, like you said. And it's going to be interesting to see how they start. Wouldn't be surprised if they come out here early throwing the ball.
What a stop from the Cougars defense, and here's HFL beginning its first drive of the game. So here's Young, takes the snap, hands it off on the jet sweep, running near the sideline and pushed out of bounds That's JT Killenbeck. So a gain of about 5 yards. A good start for this Cougars offense.
Yeah, we mentioned JT Killenbeck at the top of the broadcast as a potential player to watch. Head coach John Russ has had nothing but good things to say about him. He's just an absolute weapon. He's described him as, it doesn't matter, special teams, offense, they just are trying to get the ball in his hands.
Plenty of weapons at Young's disposal. Not much of a runner is Young, but he can do quite a bit of damage with that right arm of his. So right up the middle, leaping over tacklers, is the aforementioned Zachary Meacham. And that's going to be a first down for HFL.
Zachary Meacham, known as Thunder for the Cougars. He's their power back, and he's averaging just under 10 yards a carry, and he's been their go-to guy all this season and proves why on that play right there.
The athleticism, leaping over tacklers at the line of scrimmage and able to push his way forward for a first down. Young's first pass of the game, complete. What a strike. Finds Nolan Smith over the middle, and that's going to be another Cougars first down. An impressive start for HFL here on their first possession of the game. What a strike from Young there. A frozen rope to Nolan Smith.
Yeah, Nolan Smith, 6'5", 190 junior. He's the type of guy where if you just throw that ball in his catch radius, he can bring it in.
Smith, a talented basketball player, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So Young hands it off. It's Meacham trying to break through tacklers, but a good job wrapping up at the line of scrimmage. Looked like that was McQuethy in there on the tackle for Batavia.
And I think the key for both these defenses tonight is going to be the linebacker play. You have two teams who are very well balanced. These linebackers are going to have to watch the guards. If they watch the guards, they're going to know what the play is going to be. The guards will lead them to the ball if it's a run, and if the guards stand straight up, it's a pass play.
And Kaden Marucci, experienced as they come in that defensive backfield for the Blue Devils. Young going deep. He has a man, but he overshoots him. He had Aiden Gould running behind the defender for Batavia. He had him open, but couldn't quite find him. Sorry, our scoreboard disappeared there for a second. But what an opportunity missed for HFL as Gould behind the secondary. Young, a beautiful ball, but a little bit too much mustard on it. 3rd and 8 coming up. Young out of the shotgun, Meacham beside him. Young drops back, looking to throw. Near the line to gain, it's bobbled and dropped. Looked like a little bit of contact there. Do you think it came early there, Pete?
It's hard to tell from up here, to be quite honest with you. That was just a simple flood concept for the Cougars, and it was in and out of the hands a couple times. A lot of traffic in that area. And fortunately for the Cougars, it was an incompletion because that tip could have gone in anybody's direction.
So a 4th down coming up here. 4th and 8 for the Cougars. Batavia's defense faced with a big play here. HFL came up with a stop on 4th down. We'll see if the Blue Devils can come up with the same. Young drops back. Looking over the middle, it's complete. Near the first down marker, we'll see if he got there. Where's the spot? Looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. And it is. First down for HFL. Who was that on the reception? Was that Smith again going up for that ball?
Yeah, hard to tell, but it certainly looked like a big body for the Cougars. Again, a lot of traffic near that completion. Cougars able to move the chains.
So 1st and 10. There's 5:10 to go. We'll get our clock caught up as soon as we can. Young on the flare pass, looking for Gould. That falls incomplete. A penalty flag on the play. We'll see who the call goes against. And Batavia is pointing toward HFL. But no movement yet. Sorry about that, Pete.
Could be a pass interference call. There was some contact right around where the ball was thrown, almost like a pick play.
Let's see what the call is here.
Although that contact was...
And good call, Pete. Pass interference on Batavia. So a big penalty on the Blue Devils. That will improve HFL's field position here as they're approaching the red zone. That may put them inside the red zone. Let's see where the ball ends up here. And yes, HFL, their first opportunity inside the red zone here tonight as they're approaching the first score of this contest. Batavia had a chance to thwart this drive on the fourth down play, came up empty, and now the pass interference penalty has put HFL inside the 15-yard line. So here's Young at pistol formation, man in motion, flips it, and a nice play, solid pursuit to bring down Donnell Hall. Donnell Hall, excuse me. So a loss of 2 on the play. Nice pursuit, like I said, from Batavia, but as you can see with these jerseys, a bit difficult to read the numbers, so we'll do our best calling out the tackles, but it may be a chore here tonight.
Yeah, that was a great play there by the defensive end for Batavia. And one thing to note here for HFL is they can still manage to get a first down here and have an extra set of downs inside the 5-yard line.
Ooh, movement up front. No flags come out. And a good push from Meacham inside the 5-yard line. That's nearing that line to gain that Pete was talking about. We'll see if they got it or if they'll have another opportunity at a first down on third down. And I believe they will have that opportunity. No, they do give them the first down. So first down for the Cougars, first and goal from about the 4.5-yard line. Big opportunity here for HFL. 4 wide for Young. Meacham in the backfield. Time ticking under 4 minutes to go here in the first. Young hands it off, and Meacham is stacked up at the line. McQuethy, a good burst to gain that penetration for the Batavia defense.
Yeah, that left side of the defensive line for Batavia has stepped up here in the last couple plays. If I'm HFL, I might want to start to run the ball away from them.
And that's where, at least I thought, Batavia would have an advantage tonight. HFL a little bit undersized up front. Batavia with some big boppers up there. But thus far, HFL has had their way on this possession as they've been able to push the ball all the way inside the 5. Meacham stacked up once again, so Batavia's defense standing strong. And guess who it is? That's Matthew McQuethy stepping up here for Batavia. What a couple of plays for the junior linebacker. Third down coming up for HFL. What do you think we'll see here, Pete?
I think you got to go pass here, and you got to put the ball in the end zone if you're HFL.
So
can't settle for 3 points.
Sorry about that, Pete. Trips are to the right, and Young will roll out that direction, throwing across his body, and he's got his man. Touchdown, Cougars! Nolan Smith into the end zone, and HFL has taken an early lead. 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. The Cougars are out in front. So here we go. The point after is up, and it is through. It is now a 7-0 lead for HFL. So, what a drive from the Cougars, capped off by the scoring strike from Young to Smith. What a throw from Young there, going to his right, throwing back across his body, finding Smith perfectly in stride, a little bit low in the end zone, just where he could catch it.
I mean, hey, he got it where only he could get it, and Western New York football fans are used to seeing that type of throw on Sundays from Josh Allen. Brody Young, there was a lot of folks that didn't know what to expect with him. He had gotten he saw game action last spring in 5 games, but he certainly stepped up this year for HFL and surprised a lot of people. And Cougars find themselves up early in this one in a very hostile environment.
So we'd like to thank our sponsors once again, Casella Waste, looking for residential pickup at your house? Call Casella Waste today. Also, TF Brown's in Batavia, ready to meet your needs and budget, whether you're looking for a great place for lunch or dinner, a place to relax and enjoy a beverage, or planning any type of party or get-together. Empire Tractor, we're here to help you grow. 5072 East Main Street in Batavia, that's Route 5. Visit EmpireTractor.com. We have a few sponsors to get to, which we will after the ensuing kickoff following the HFL touchdown. And what a drive that was from the Cougars. The big stop on 4th down defensively, and they march right down the field to punch it in. It's 7-0. Like I said, 2:40 to play here in the first. So another looping kick, fair catch called for by Batavia. Also, we'd like to thank Genesee Community College, having a drive-through open house on Saturday, October 16th. Register online at genesee.edu/visit. Also, George & Swede Sales and Service, established in 1983. George & Swede has been providing exceptional sales, rentals, parts, and service for over 35 years. Also, Western New York Concrete. Pave your way to success. Call today, 343-6850. And Howard Hanna, Real Estate Services, and real estate salesperson Kenneth Klein. Ask Kenneth about the 100% money back guarantee. We have one more sponsor to get to, but here's Batavia to start their second possession of the game. Reinhardt out of the shotgun, drops back, looking to throw. Over the middle, has a man, and it's complete. A nice pass and catch. Reinhardt finds Javen McFarland's inside Cougars territory, and that's just the start that Batavia needed. And like I said, one more sponsor to get to, KMS Dance Academy. There's still time to join in on the fun. Call or text 409-6875. KMS Dance Academy. Dream big and believe. So you talked about staying on schedule, Pete. It's about as on schedule as this Batavia offense can get on first down.
Yeah, that's quite a way to come out after giving up the first touchdown of the game. Double covered, downfield strike. Great job by Reinhardt there to deliver that ball where it needed to be.
And a perfectly timed pass right out of McFarland's break. He cut right in front of those two Cougars defenders and really put himself between the defenders and the football, which is exactly what you want on that route. So a carry there, about 5 yards, will bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Blue Devils, and they're rolling here off the HFL score.
Yeah, Batavia has that quick strike mentality. They can move down the field very, very quickly, and they're showing that right now.
So Anderson next to Reinhardt in the backfield. 3 wide for the senior quarterback, but he takes it himself up the middle. Design run, and he bursts free into the secondary. Jesse Reinhardt is stripped up at about the 16-yard line. First down, Blue Devils. And you talked about quick strikes. These are the chunk plays that head coach Brennan Briggs is looking for.
Yeah, that's that little wrinkle that the Blue Devils have. They can have their quarterback be a runner, and he was a runner on that play. Great job there by number 3, JT Killenbeck, to make the touchdown-saving tackle for the Cougars, and now it's Batavia who's in the red zone.
You talk about Bills quarterback Josh Allen. That's something else we see a lot from Allen, that quick delayed quarterback design run up the middle, and Reinhardt made the most of that one. This one handed off to Anderson, and he's into the end zone for the Batavia touchdown. Big response from the Blue Devils. It's now 7-6. Inside a minute to play in the first quarter. What a response from Batavia.
And that was a parting of the Red Sea for the Blue Devils. The middle of the field was wide open, and it was nothing but green grass. And we got a tie game pending this extra point. And as you mentioned, Batavia without their star kicker tonight, so we'll have to see how the backup does.
So Alex Bartz on for the point after. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, a looping kick, and it's no good. So HFL maintains its advantage. 7-6 Cougars inside a minute to play in this first quarter, and we discussed it. Little things can make the difference in this game, and you're missing your starting kicker. Bart's on there, his first action of the season, and just not a great kick, and I think it went wide left. Tough to tell from this angle.
Yeah, we talked about at the top of the broadcast that HFL has already won one of their contests, the game against Wayne, because of a point after attempt. And if you're the Batavia Blue Devils, you got to hope that that's not going to sting you later in this one. But so far, from what we've seen from these two teams, this game's living up to the hype.
No doubt about that, and not very often have we've been able to say that about Section 5 football this year. Plenty of lopsided scores, especially Class B, Class C, Class D. But thus far, two talented teams proving to be as much here this evening, and something to watch moving forward. We'll see if Bart's does in fact continue to get opportunities on those point afters, if Batavia continues to score touchdowns. Because Batavia, I'm sure, won't be hesitant to go to the 2-point tries here if those struggles continue. So here we go, inside a minute to play. The kick from Bart's, a strong kick. Back to about the HFL 15-yard line, fielded. And eventually brought down was number 9, Colton Miller. And HFL will begin its drive at about the 31-yard line. And we went down and we talked with some Batavia people before the game and inquired about Bart's. And what we learned about him is at the JV level, he and starting kicker Julia Petrie shared time where Bart's would kick a lot of the kickoffs. Petrie would handle the PAT duties. And you saw there a beautiful kick on the kickoff from Bart's, but obviously just needs to shore things up on the kicks, and I'm sure he will moving forward. His first opportunity of the season can be tough for a kicker. So handoff to Meacham, and the ball comes out! Batavia's got it! Meacham coughs it up. Batavia recovers. Javen McFollins hops on it. And the Blue Devils are in business inside HFL territory, trailing by a point, 35 seconds to go in the first.
And that is a disastrous play for HFL. They've only got 3 fumbles this season, but the fourth one right there, that's going to be potentially a huge opportunity for Batavia as they find themselves inside the 40. And this is a Batavia team that has reaped the benefit of some early turnovers and generated some very high scores in the first quarter.
So 35 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Batavia takes back over. Reinhardt dropping back, looking deep, has a man, McFollins. Touchdown, Blue Devils! Javen McFollins from Jesse Reinhardt, and Batavia is in the lead. What a pitch and catch from Reinhardt to McFollins. 12-7, Batavia's in the lead. That's a deep strike if there was one, Pete.
And the separation that Javen McFollins had was significant. And Reinhardt and him have connected a couple times this season. In fact, that was the 4th time that they've connected. It's his second favorite target. His first favorite target, of course, is his brother, Carter McFollins. And they're going to go for 2 here, Alex, to try and get back on schedule points-wise.
So Briggs wasting no time going to the 2-point try. The option play, Anderson. Or no, it's McFollins. In there for the 2-point conversion. So Batavia seizes a 7-point lead. It's now 14-7 Blue Devils after the quick strike from Reinhardt to McFollins. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Casella Waste, TF Browns in Batavia, Empire Tractor, Genesee Community College, George and Swede Sales and Service, Western New York Concrete Corporation, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services and Real Estate Salesperson Kenneth Klein, and KMS Dance Academy. You see on the Casella Waste scoreboard, it's a 14-7 Batavia lead. HFL looking to take back over here following the latest touchdown from the Blue Devils. And a quick reminder, we have yet to discuss this on tonight's broadcast. We will be honoring the Casella Waste Athlete of the Game at the conclusion of tonight's broadcast, along with the TF Browns Top Trench Performer. So if you have any thoughts on those 2 awards, feel free to reach out in the comment section, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or did I say Facebook already? So a little trickeration here from the Cougars on the ensuing kick, and a big return from HFL across midfield. Benjamin Carson, the misdirection, as it looked like he faked the handoff to Killenbeck, and that sprung Carson free, and now the Cougars will begin their drive inside Blue Devils territory.
Now, one last thing before we start talking about this HFL offense. I don't think we can stress it enough how quickly this Batavia team can score. 18 seconds. 18 seconds on the game clock between those two touchdowns, and they find themselves up a score. But HFL now, great return out past midfield. We'll have to see how they can respond.
So here are the Cougars. 1st and 10, ball placed at the Batavia 47-yard line. Handoff on the sweep goes to Killenbeck. He gains the edge, but he's wrapped down at about the 39-yard line. A nice gain from Killenbeck. Going to set the Cougars up with a 2nd and 2 here. 8-yard gain for the HFL senior.
And we were mentioning the difficulty of running to the right side for HFL. They run to the left. They bring 2 pulling guards as lead blockers and able to get a nice gain on 1st down. Maybe they'll take a shot here on 2nd and short.
So the final play of the first half, 2nd and 2 coming up. Young in the backfield along with Meacham, 4 wide for the Cougars. Handoff goes to Meacham, straight up the middle. He's brought down by a host of Batavia tacklers. Big Austin Fernandez in there on the stop for Batavia, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. Batavia will take a 14-7 lead into the 2nd quarter. So once again, we'd like to get to our sponsors, tell you a little bit more about our lovely sponsors here tonight. Casella, check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella, your #1 provider for all waste and recycling needs. Casella, always putting your waste to work. 308-0662 today for a quote. Also, TF Browns, whether you're looking for a great place for lunch or dinner, a place to relax and enjoy a beverage, or planning any type of party or get-together, TF Browns is ready to meet your needs and budget. Also, Empire Tractor, we're here to help you grow. Your local New Holland dealer is now selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower. And they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, for more information. Also, Genesee Community College having a drive-through open house on Saturday, October 16th. Register online at genesee.edu/visit. George & Swede Sales and Service, a full-service equipment dealership located in Pavilion. Established in 1983, George & Swede has been providing exceptional sales, rentals, parts, and service for over 35 years. So the first snap of the 2nd quarter, taken by Young and flipped out to Benjamin Carson. And just a few more ads to get to. As we also like to thank Western New York Concrete. Since 1946, we've been proud to provide our concrete services throughout the Genesee County and Western New York area. Contact Western New York Concrete today for custom concrete driveways, patios, and more. So 2 more sponsors to go here to begin the 2nd quarter. We'll get our scoreboard caught up here with the time. As Young drops back, looking to throw, has a man over the middle, but he's chopped down, and the ball comes out. Is he going to be ruled down, or is that a fumble? Looks like some confusion on the field. No signal yet. What do we have here? This could be a big moment in the game. Batavia forced the turnover on the last drive, and a discussion between officials here to decide whether this is an incompletion or another HFL turnover. And his knee was down, so down by contact was Carson. So a big break for HFL. As we'd also like to thank Howard Hanna Real Estate Services and real estate salesperson Kenneth Klein. Contact Kenneth, your hometown realtor, providing you with the same level of service whether you're purchasing or selling your home. You can count on Kenneth to be there every step of the way. 297-0764. So 1 more sponsor to go. 2nd and 9 here for the Cougars. And flags come out. Tell you about the penalty after we tell you about KMS Dance Academy. There's still time to join in on the fun. Call or text 409-6875. This is our 5th year, and we've only just begun. KMS Dance Academy. Dream big and believe. So a legal procedure on HFL. And finally, the ads are finished, and we can catch up our scoreboard here, and I can stop talking, and we can get a little bit from Pete. So 10:40 to play. Pete, how big is this drive for HFL in your eyes?
Yeah, I want to go back to the last play of the first quarter. Giving the ball back to Zach Meacham, that just shows a sign of trust that HFL has in their running back, and almost another costly fumble.
As Young is brought under tackle in the backfield, that's a sack. So tough to tell who was in there on the tackle. Looked like 21, but I don't see a 21 here. Try to get some clarification on that, but a huge sack for Batavia. Sets HFL back to a 3rd and a mile here.
Yeah, not a lot of whole plays in the playbook here for the Cougars to get this sort of yardage.
But that's exactly what they needed, a nice completion to Carson. And if you can, go back to your train of thought that you were discussing previously.
Yeah, just the trust that they were putting in Meacham, and then almost another another fumble by Carson. I mean, HFL has got to hammer down here. And now they find themselves facing 4th down at about the 20-yard line. Offense still out on the field for the Cougars.
4th and 10 for HFL. Young beside Meacham in the backfield, and there's movement on the outside. Looked like Carson moved early, and he did. That's a false start, setting HFL back even further. So the mistakes continue to pile up for the Cougars here.
Cougars shooting themselves in the foot twice on this set of downs. They earned those yards back to try and make it a little bit more 4th and manageable at 4th and 10, and now it's 4th and 15.
And discussing things with head coach John Russ before this game, he said you can't afford to make mistakes against a team of Batavia's quality. And so far the Cougars making too many. A ball lofted up and intercepted on the return. Looks like Caden Marucci. No. Sorry, folks. Tough to see these numbers. But yes, Caden Marucci on the interception. And another turnover created by this Batavia defense. And the mistakes continue to pile up for HFL.
And the credit on that play has to go to this Batavia defensive line. There was a lot of pressure in Young's face. He stepped up there. He just tossed it deep. At 4th and 15, if it's an incomplete pass, honestly, that was better for the Cougars, being an interception. And now Batavia taking over at the 18-yard line. So the interception, yeah, it's going to count against them in the stat sheet, but in terms of game flow, it's not as big of a deal as you think.
You're absolutely right. As big of a mistake as an interception can be on a 4th and long, deep inside opposing territory. Not the worst thing that could happen there. But certainly a momentum builder for Batavia as they've really seized Big Mo here as the game has progressed.
Yeah, from a confidence standpoint, that's a killer for Young. And for Batavia, I mean, if they can get this to a 2-score lead in the second quarter, they got to feel pretty good about themselves. It looks like we're going to have an official timeout.
And you were absolutely right. The pressure created on that play by the Batavia front hit Young as he threw. Really didn't allow him to get as much behind that throw as he wanted, but nonetheless, he was putting that ball up into triple, quadruple coverage there. There were a lot of Batavia defenders around that ball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, definitely probably not the best option, but it seemed like the only option he could do rather than take the sack back at the 30, 35-yard line.
So Marucci, his 3rd interception of the season. As I finally decipher the number, but Pete, am I wrong? These numbers are brutal, aren't they?
They are tough, and HFL is the same way. They, like I was telling you before the game started, HFL's got black uniforms with black numbers too. It's an announcer's nightmare, and I've been told that hopefully these jerseys are not going to be allowed, I believe, starting the 2023 season, so something to look forward for us, Alex.
Yeah, we can only pray. So an update from Section 5. One moment, I have okay, here. Big Class D matchup, 2 unbeaten teams in Class D. Oakfield, Alabama, Elba taking on Avon. OAE out in front, 21-7 in that game. That game being played at the Braves' home field. Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, of course, defeated Avon near the end of last spring season to seize the top seed in Class D, but went on to lose in the semifinal to Alexander. And, of course, Avon went on to win the sectional title in Class D. But thus far in this matchup, it's looking like Oakfield, Alabama, Elba going to have the better of the Braves in that game. Another reminder across Section 5, tomorrow, 1 p.m., Notre Dame hosting its homecoming game right across the street here on Union Street in Batavia. They will be taking on Alexander at what will soon become Bill Sutherland Field. That will be introduced tomorrow. So tune in for that live on the Batavia Daily News, YouTube, and Facebook. But resuming the Batavia drive, handoff goes to McFollins, deking defenders in the backfield, and a flag comes in the area of holding. And with those jukes in the backfield, that can certainly cause some offensive linemen to grasp at the jersey of some moving defenders.
Yeah, you called it, Alex, holding on that play. And I think for this drive for Batavia, they don't have to have a home run play. I think right now you kind of want to run a methodical defense, or excuse me, a methodical drive down the field and wear down this HFL defense.
So second down coming up as we adjust our scoreboard. It is the second quarter. We're leading into halftime here. 7:42 remaining until the halftime break. A second and very, very long in front of Batavia. Second and about 16. Reinhardt looking to throw, tipped, and it falls incomplete. He may have gotten lucky there as he threw that one into coverage.
Yeah, it looks like Colton Miller, number 9 for the Cougars, was able to jump that route. And there wasn't a lot of Batavia players in that vicinity, so if he was able to haul that in, he had some green grass in front of him. But for the Blue Devils' sake, incomplete.
So a quick shout out to the ex-Pizza King, Paul Berardini, watching all the way from Texas. A Batavian native cheering on the Blue Devils against the Cougars. Thank you, Paulie, for tuning in here tonight. So dropping back is Reinhardt looking to throw. He's got a man. McFollins once again down the seam. A big gain for this Batavia passing attack. Javen McFollins able to get behind the defense once again.
Yeah, HFL's got to figure something out because that's the second time he's been able to get deep behind those DBs. And it looks like there was already 2 guys paired up on him. So HFL's got to be able to contain him, or else he's just going to be making big plays like that for the rest of this game.
That's what this Batavia offense provides. Speed all over the field. Flip to the other McFollins. Carter wrestled out of bounds, but the clock will continue to wind. Apparently he came down inbounds. So a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. And these McFollins boys have had a great season, and they're having a great game here tonight, heavily involved in what Batavia is doing offensively. So we're at about the 6.5-minute mark of this second quarter, 2nd and 6. Facing the Blue Devils here, 3 men in the backfield, McFollins, Anderson, and Reinhardt. But Reinhardt will flip it out to the far side and running near the marker. That pass was complete number
3rd and 3 for Batavia.
8. Sorry. Number 6, Cole Grazio playing. See, you can tell when they come to the sideline, Pete, but when they're on the field, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, defensive outside linebacker Ryan Gary was able to force him towards the sideline before he was pushed out by a couple different HFL players.
Handoff off the middle and a good burst for Anderson. Into the secondary, Aiden Anderson is gone. Touchdown, Batavia. That was like a parting of the Red Sea. Anderson, plenty of room to run. He took advantage, and it's another Batavia touchdown. Their lead is now 20-7, 6:03 remaining in the second quarter. Blue Devils starting to take control here.
And that was extremely reminiscent of his first touchdown, not of the same length, but just the way that he had the middle of the field wide open. I think Batavia, by spreading out their receivers, they're forcing this HFL defense as we have a fake.
Reinhardt puts it up, corner of the end zone, bobbled and incomplete. So another 2-point try.
But yeah, I think that they're just trying to spread this HFL defense. And like we've been saying, they've been having fits with the McFarland brothers. So as a result, the middle of the field has become open as a rush lane.
Batavia taking advantage of what the Cougars are giving them in the early going, and after a slow start, they have put the pedal to the metal. Batavia, 13-point lead. Time ticking away here in the second quarter. HFL, and I may consider it desperate need of a response here, Pete.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, they scored first in this one, but since then it's 20 unanswered points for Batavia. And you can't let a team just pile it on like this because it's going to start to wear down your psyche here. And that was the exact kind of methodical drive that we wanted to see out of Batavia, and they delivered. And they find themselves in a pretty good situation here halfway through the second quarter.
So after the failed 2-point try, here comes the ensuing kickoff, going back to the Cougars. Looks like we got a bonfire in the south end zone over here. Maybe a little grilling going on. What do you think? Onside kick from Batavia, ball bouncing around, but HFL able to gain control of it. Looks like a bonfire to me, Pete.
Yeah, that was the onside kick, it looked like almost. And HFL, they got to be a little bit more aggressive on getting that ball. That's a live football out there. They're lucky that it was so deep of an onside that they could get to the ball before Batavia. But, man, you got to be alert out there tonight.
Yeah. That was a dangerous, dangerous play. So here we go. HFL taking back over inside their own 40-yard line, ball at the 37. Handoff goes to Meacham, finding room to run and torpedoing through a couple of Batavia defenders. Gain of about 8. We'll call it 7. 2nd and 3 coming up.
And I like that first down run. Let's just try and build on something. Get a big first down run, set up 2nd and short. You know, it's all about for HFL, just trying to build some confidence back offensively. Certainly they need to try and score points, but just try and string together a couple first downs here.
So a quick reminder, stick around for halftime. Batavia will be honoring its 1991 state championship winning football team. So stay tuned for that ceremony. Young tosses it out, finds Smith, breaking a tackle, and that's going to be a first down for the Cougars across midfield. So that should be a special experience for the crowd in attendance, as well as the former players from that team and the former coaches from that team that are in attendance here tonight. I know that head coach John Kreit, Section 5 Football Hall of Famer, will be in attendance, along with another Section 5 Hall of Famer, Pep Johnson, who was an assistant coach for that team. Both will be in attendance. I saw Coach Johnson earlier. I believe we'll see Coach Kreit later on. So a snap and a handoff, and Hall is ridden down, and that's a loss of 1.
Yeah, Cougars go with Donnell Hall there. They went 4-receiver set to try and spread the Batavia defense out a bit, but the front four for the Blue Devils have held their own tonight. Outside of a couple first down runs for the Cougars, there hasn't been much going on the ground tonight.
So 2nd and 11 as Young takes the snap, looking to throw, flips it out, has Hall. That's only a gain of about 5, so that's going to bring up 3rd down for HFL. Good pursuit by this Batavia defense. It seems like every time an HFL receiver catches the ball, there's more than one Batavia defender right there to wrap him down.
Yeah, rallying to the ball. And that's important for defenses, especially when you have some slippery receivers like Donnell Hall getting hats on the ball carrier as soon as they touch it to limit the gain.
So Young dropping back, gets it away. A nice catch made by Killenbeck. And he's across the first down marker. So the drive continues for the Cougars. A 3rd down conversion, Young to Killenbeck.
And this is the drive, if you're HFL, what you're looking for. Just something nice, stringing together a couple first downs. You can see they're really trying to work the outside. They're trying to go outside the numbers, work the sideline, because that's where they feel that they have the mismatch.
So 1st and 10 for HFL. Young out of the shotgun, hands it to Killenbeck on the sweep. Looking for the edge, cuts it up, a gain of about 4. Nice play there. Made by Marucci. So Marucci, coming into this game, we knew he'd be all over the field, and he's proved to be just that. An interception already and a few nice tackles, including that one. Stopped that one from going for a big gain.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of linebackers, and Marucci, he's the leading tackler for this Batavia defense, and he's already made a couple plays tonight, as you mentioned.
So Killenbeck in motion once again. Young dropping back, looking to throw, going deep up top to Smith, but it's incomplete. Javen McFarland's on the coverage.
Yeah, it looked like on that play that Smith kind of slowed up a bit. I think he had to adjust to the ball. He had some separation, and as a result, he had to slow up for the ball, and the Batavia defender was able to disrupt that pass.
I also think Young could have gotten a little more air under that pass. Smith on the outside is going to have a size advantage more times than not this season, and I think if he got a little more air under that, they may have given Smith a chance to gain position and go up and grab that. So the flip to Meacham and a good burst there, eventually brought down by McQuethy, but that's going to be another HFL first down, and the Cougars, exactly what the doctor ordered. They're responding with a successful drive here. They just need to cap it off with points.
Yeah, points is going to be critical. They've been down on this side of the field already once, and they ended up throwing the interception on 4th and long. They can't afford to not get points again.
So listen to the HFL faithful, if you can hear over our microphones, getting into it here on the far side as Young tosses it to the far side to Carson. And I believe he stepped out of bounds or his knee came down.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped on the carpet on the far side and one knee went down, and high school rules, he's down. So gets it close to the marker, though.
So HFL inside the red zone, approaching their 2nd score of the game. Batavia's defense looking to hold tight here. Young and Meacham in the backfield, pistol formation. Now Young goes to the side, and he takes the handoff. Up the gut, pushing forward. Across the line to gain. Another fresh set of downs coming up for HFL. And another valuable part of this drive, HFL taking a ton of time with them. Doesn't appear as if Batavia is going to have a lot of time left to go the other way if HFL is able to punch it in.
And if you're HFL, you're not thinking about the clock. You can't score too early if you're down. So HFL's sole focus right now is just trying to get the ball into the end zone.
Meacham chopped down, And Javen McFollins is just having a fantastic game on both sides of the ball. He's been a man possessed out there, both offensively and defensively.
9-yard line. Second and 7.
HFL does still have all 3 timeouts, Alex.
And they do, like you said earlier on the other drive, they do have the opportunity to gain another fresh set of downs here. The marker at about the 2-yard line. Young to the end zone. Overthrows Smith. Sorry about that camera jerk there. Got to tighten up my tripod here.
And that's just another pass that Young just was off by a little bit. He had underthrown him a couple plays earlier. Now he overthrew him. There's just a couple passes that I think Young's going to look back at halftime and wish he could have a second go-around at.
You're right. That's kind of been the difference in this game. Reinhardt able to connect with McFollins on those couple of deep balls, and Young has just missed a couple of open targets. He's had a good game, but just missing a few of those deep balls. 36 seconds to play in the second quarter. Third down for the Cougars. Young drops back, pumps, complete. What a catch made by Hall. A ton of contact, right at about the line to gain, but Hall, what a job coming down with that one, Pete.
Yeah, as a receiver, sometimes when you hear footsteps coming, you'll seize up, but Hall makes the aggressive catch and took a lick after that one. Although it looked like he was more the windshield rather than the bug, as he was the one who stayed up on his feet.
Yeah, I think that's one of those situations where you get drilled from both sides, and I don't know what law of science it is, but that just kind of keeps you up. I'm not a science guy, Pete. I think that's why I'm broadcasting high school football here.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
There you go. Now you're sounding like Matt Millen with the Archimedes or whatever it is reference that he dropped in the Bills game earlier this year. Archimedes, that's what it is.
So Cougars take their first time here, going to talk it over. They've got 27, just over 27 seconds, 4 plays from the 3-yard line. I'm interested to see if maybe they try running the ball just because they have the timeouts at their disposal. I think they've had a little bit better looks passing so far in this one. We'll have to see what they go with after the timeout here.
I think you got to try it once. They flip it to Meacham, looking for room. Diving for the goal line, but he's down just short. And another timeout called by the Cougars. They have 1 remaining in this first half, and now it becomes a little bit dicey. You may become one-dimensional here with that 1 timeout remaining, 19 seconds on the clock. Playbook might be a little bit limited here for head coach John Russ.
Well, I think you can still run the ball here with that timeout. Just comes down to pretty much you force yourself in a passing situation, and you got to make sure that that's not a sack.
So although you do have that 1 timeout remaining, if you do spend that and you're not able to reach the goal line, if you call for a pass play, and we've seen plenty of swing passes from the Cougars today, if you complete one of those and on 3rd down he's brought down before the goal line, that's why I think it's a tough decision here for Coach Russ, whether he'll try to run it again. And Meacham's had success falling forward here tonight, and he doesn't need much to find the end zone.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be interesting here. Let's see what they come out in. If they come in a heavy set, it'd certainly be interesting. We've talked about Young not being a runner as a quarterback, but what if he pulls it here with Batavia expecting that the ball is going to go to Meacham?
So here's another flip to Meacham. This time he's in for the HFL touchdown. Cougars cut into this Batavia advantage. 17 seconds remaining in the first half. It's now 20-13, awaiting the point after.
And they elect to just go with their workhorse, Zach Meacham. He's had a nose for the end zone this season. That's his 7th touchdown on the ground.
So here's the point after. It's up. But it's no good. Looked like Batavia got a piece of that one as the kick comes up short of the crossbar. And Batavia maintains its 7-point advantage. So we talked about it in the early going, and we're seeing some struggles from both sides in terms of making those extra points.
So with 17 seconds left, we'll expect HFL to probably just kick this one short. Batavia with only one timeout left. I mean, you do got to worry about maybe kicking it too short and giving Batavia some field to work with. It also depends on what Batavia's mindset is. Do they want to try and take advantage of the couple seconds left on the play clock or game clock, or are they content with going to halftime with the 7-point lead?
I think with the way your offensive line is protecting Jesse Reinhardt and how you've connected on those deep balls, I think if you're Coach Brennan Briggs, if you get good field position here near midfield as they've had all day to do those short looping onside kicks or whatever you want to call them, I think you got to go for it. I think you'll have 2, maybe 3 opportunities at a deep ball, and with McFarland's speed, either McFarland's speed, you can get behind this HFL defense. And with Reinhardt's arm, he can strike from anywhere from probably about 50 yards.
And Xavier Carbonell, he's a soccer player. He's one of those athletes for HFL who plays both soccer and football. He does have quite a strong leg. In fact, he had a pair of touchbacks last week at home against Bishop Kearney. So maybe they do put the trust in that strong leg of his to boot it back deep.
Another thing you have to worry about if you're HFL, the athleticism in the return game for Batavia. Aiden Anderson back there, known to burst 1 or 2 in his day. Oh, Batavia forced to fall on it, so all that discussion I think will be for naught, as I would doubt that Batavia will go to the air here with 17 seconds remaining and about 91 yards to go to the end zone.
Yeah, that knuckleball certainly was very effective for HFL.
Looked like Batavia could have let that ball roll out of bounds. The line drive kick not going to allow the coverage team to get down there very quickly. I didn't really get a good look at where they were in regard to where the ball was going out of bounds, but I think Batavia may have had an opportunity to allow that ball to roll out of bounds there.
Yeah, and I bet the Blue Devil player was probably had that internal clock in him going off saying, hey, this is a live ball. Just jump on it.
Yeah.
Don't give HFL the ball this close to the end zone.
So Reinhardt in the shotgun. Option play. Flips it to Anderson. He's wrestled down. And we'll see if that'll do it here. Clock continues to run. No timeout called by Batavia. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. Batavia takes a 20-13 lead into the halftime break. A competitive first 2 quarters. Expect nothing less in the second half. But stay tuned for the halftime ceremony. Batavia's 1991 state championship football team to be honored. But Pete, why don't you give us a quick breakdown of the action that we just saw over the first 2 quarters of play?
Yeah, quick scoring summary. HFL started this one off with a touchdown on 3rd and goal. 2:41 left in the first quarter. It was a strike from Brody Young to Nolan Smith. Then it was Batavia scoring 2 touchdowns in a span of 18 seconds. A touchdown there starting for Batavia by Aiden Anderson. And then it was Jesse Reinhardt connecting with McFallens and then scoring again to make it a 20-7 lead. It was Aiden Anderson who had a big run, and then it was the Cougars finding the end zone with 17.7 seconds left in the second half, again on 3rd and goal. So both touchdowns for HFL have come on 3rd and goal plays. It was Zachary Meacham falling ahead for the 1-yard score, and that's what's brought us to this 20-13 score. And I think for both these teams, for what they've had so far for the most part through the season, is somewhat uncharted territory. Batavia has been just absolutely taking care of business. They've outscored opponents. I know we've mentioned it countless times, 220-20 in their first 5 games. HFL did have one close call against Wayne, but overall, looking at the season as a whole, I think this is certainly the most competitive game for Batavia, and certainly a very competitive game that that HFL has as well.
So we're getting set for the halftime ceremony. Batavia getting ready to honor its 1991 state football championship team. We send it over to public address announcer Paul Spiata.
Fans, if I can have your attention, please. Fans, may I have your attention, please? Tonight, we honor the 30-year anniversary of the 1991 Batavia Blue Devil football team that won the New York State Championship. The undefeated football team of 1991 became the first team in school history to win a sectional championship. And at the end of the season, they were ranked #1 in New York State. This special group of young men won 11 games together and go down as one of the best football teams in Batavia High School history. In 2005, the 1991 football team was inducted into the Batavia High School Athletic Hall of Fame. And now I'd like to introduce all of the members of the 1991 football team. As you can see, some of them are here this evening. And when your name is announced, please acknowledge your introduction to the crowd. Members of the 91 football team are as follows: Ed Bastido, Mike Clinkbell, Everett Penders, Jeff Barone, Bill Thomas, Jamie Feely, Joel Kozlicki, Frank Calarco, Greg Reese, Tim Martino, Mike Miniacci, Chris Mullen, Jamie Smith, Chris Kindley, Scott Smith, Jeff Austin, Matt Gendreau, always a show off, that Matt Gendreau, Don Burns, Tony Bellamy, Steve Kilner, Bilal Kokar, Dan Bastido, Mike DeSanto, Jeremy Hunt, Rich Hartman, Scott Costanzo, Chris Regal, Casey Kazorek, Jim Hardy, Brian Dix, Jake Torsello, Terry Roth, Lauren Williams, John Sanfratello, Jason Meyer, Keith Moore, and Rob Hale. And now, fans, if I can have your attention, there are also two members of the 1991 football team who are no longer with us. At this time, we would like to honor Lance Lewis and Don Herdline. The varsity football team was coached by John Crite. Coach Gaylord Kay, and Coach Pep Johnson. The football team also had great support from their cheerleaders that year. Members of that squad who are in attendance this evening include Erica Graziaplane, Heidi Parker, and Melanie Kajowski. We thank all of you for coming here this evening for your deserving recognition. All of you are a huge part of the strong football tradition we have here in Batavia. Let's have one final round of applause for the state champion 1991 Blue Devils.
And there you have it, folks. Perhaps the greatest team in Batavia High School athletics history on the field in front of you tonight. We'll take a quick break here. Near the end of halftime, we will be joined by one member from the 91 team, John Sanfratello, a captain from that team. So stay tuned for that short interview with John coming up in a few moments. We'll be back here on the Batavia Daily News Facebook and YouTube channel.
Mr. Williams, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. That's a good thumbs up. On the field now is the Batavia Varsity Rock Band Color Guard and Dance Team. This evening the group will be performing songs from the 80s, including Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar, and Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Instructors include Sean Williams for the rock band, Jane Haggett and Michaela Rivera for the dance team, Bridget Hogan and Gina Rainforth instruct the color guard. The overall director is Miss Jane Haggett. Special thanks to the Batavia City School District Administration for supporting the group. Now sit back once again and enjoy the Batavia Varsity Rock Band. 60.
See your phone? Can I take a video of this with your phone if they keep doing it? Mine's on. We'll be right back. here at Detta Stadium. Alex Brasky and Pete Carosa. We got a good one brewing. 20-13, Batavia in the lead over HFL, a rematch of last season's Class B title game won by the Cougars. So the Devils in search of revenge here this evening, and they're 2 quarters away from taking home a win here tonight. Before we get things going here in the second half, we'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor and the sponsor for the Casella Waste Athlete of the Game. That is, of course, Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Casella, always putting your waste to work. Call 585-308-0662 today for a quote. Also, TF Browns. Whether you're looking for a great place for lunch or dinner, a place to relax and enjoy a beverage, or planning any type of party or get-together, TF Browns is ready to meet your needs and budget. And of course, TF Browns sponsors the TF Browns Top Trench Performer, also to be awarded near the conclusion of this game. Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. Empire Tractor is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower. And they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, or visit in person right in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds. So we'll take a quick break from our sponsors. We got a guest in the booth, member of the 1991 state championship team here in Batavia. That is, of course, one of the team captains, John Sanfratello, also a former head football coach.
That is correct.
Here at Batavia. So, Coach, can you just take us through your memories from that season? Obviously, cherished memories, I'm sure. The only state championship in Batavia athletics history. Can you just take us through, from your perspective, how special that season was?
The whole season was special. You know, right from the beginning, we had lost in the sectional finals, or in the semifinals the year before. So when we met at the end of that season, at the beginning of the other season, we were like, we're not going to lose. That's it. We're done. So that was kind of, you know, everything moving forward of, we're done. We're not going to lose. We're going to be a team. And, you know, right from training all the way through to the first game. The first game was against Pittsford, and that was a tough game. But each game we got better, and, you know, really, you don't even know 30 years. Come on, really, 30 years? It's been crazy, but that 30 years is like yesterday. Yeah. So it's we, you know, worked hard together. You know, the community, just like tonight. You know, it's a great turnout. All the kids, the fans, fantastic. You know, in the old stadium, we would have, you know, the fans not only in the stands, but we had them all the way around the stadium. We had them across the way. You know, it was out of control. So it was a really good community effort, you know, each game. And, you know, Coach always told us that these are the times that you'd remember, you know, and, you know, not the parties, not, you know, hanging out, doing all that. And still today, we will talk about something that happened at practice, something that happened in a game. You know, we talk about specific games, Hilton. We talk about, you know, going into the finals. And then once we went into the sectionals, that's really where, you know, we kind of were like, this is really happening. And just like the sound here is how it was then. You know, especially when we went to Fauver, you know, they don't play there anymore. So, you know, way back when was a good time. You know, just feeding off of each other, and then, you know, the finals, and then the states against Grand Island, and that's really when they started talking about needing a tournament. You know, yeah, we were #1 in the state, but, you know, we still think, you know, 30 years ago, we think that in a tournament we would have done really well. So, you know, it was just a special year, a special group of guys. You know, it's just, you know, and that's what it was, because as you can see here, most of the guys that were here were from my class. We're still close. We still talk all the time, and, you know, it's just a special group of people.
So we're getting set for kickoff here in the second half. We'll continue our conversation with Coach Sanfrantello, as I like to call him. I was a water boy for one of your teams
Yes,
way back
you were,
in the day.
yeah.
We'll have to talk about those days some other time. But like I said, getting ready for kickoff, HFL set to return. But Coach, why don't you take us through that game against Grand Island? Just, I'm sure an emotional victory for you guys. They were kind of the lead dog all season, and that game you usurped them as the #1 team, and that set you on your way to claiming that #1 ranking.
Yeah, in that game, we were obviously the underdogs coming in. They were ranked #1 in the state. All of the hype around the game was about them. That they had a really good passing game, they had a good running game. They were strong across the front, and so we knew going into the game that it was going to be a tough game to begin with. But we took it a little at a time, and I will say that the fans were great, but there was a turning point in the game that nobody knows, where Chris Regal fake punt. Coach didn't call that. We called it. Frank Calarco called it in huddle and said, nope, we're going to fake it. That's it. So we faked it, and then from there, we got the first down, and that kind of changed the tide of the game. And one thing led to another. I'm beating them 37-27, and they have never, throughout their couple of seasons, they didn't have, teams that could match them. And so, Rob and Chris, Jeremy Hunt had a fantastic game. Nobody could touch him. We had a really solid running game, and we're just able to finish it off. And then, just being in an atmosphere like that at Rich Stadium, that's what we call it, is just a cool atmosphere. And then coming home, again, we come home back here after the game, the crowd, just like it is tonight, we had a crowd, we had everything, and it was, you never saw that back then. So that was what was cool for the community.
So HFL beginning its drive, Meacham with a carry, and then Young on a completion, but a penalty goes against the Cougars. That will set them back. So you mentioned Coach, that being Coach John Crite, obviously a Hall of Famer, and what he did for you guys, leading you to that championship. I'm sure he holds a special place in your heart as well. How special was it to see him out there tonight? I know that you probably don't get to see him very often.
No, not very often, and it was nice. We all met over at his house to have him walk over with us, and he still remembered all of us, which was nice. But Coach taught us a lot as a team. What I have taken away from him, and actually all of us, we still live it every day. What he taught us as just togetherness, about being a team, looking out for each other. The little things in life we got from him, and that's why he's special to all of us, a father figure, and would do anything for us during that time. But he was tough. He was tough on us, that's for sure, and that's what we needed, and we followed right along.
Now, one more, and we'll let you get back to the festivities down there. Now, looking back, if you could just maybe one or two words to describe your group, what are some of the words or phrases you would use to describe that 91 team and what allowed you to achieve so much success?
I know Coach Briggs uses relentless a lot. I would say that. It was about tradition of Batavia. It was about being relentless. It was about being a team and being a team together. It didn't matter if you were sophomore, junior, cheerleader, ball boy, anybody. It was all of us together, and those are the few words that I would say about the team and the way we are today. It's just we met up tonight, and it's like we never missed each other. And those are the things that are special, and those are the things that I would hope that others would have been able to be able to do in their lifetime as well.
Well, Coach, I know that there's a celebration to continue after, so why don't you get prepared for that and have a great time doing that. Hey,
I appreciate you having me up here.
I appreciate you joining us.
A couple of words, all right.
And I appreciate you dealing with me as your water boy all those years ago.
It was awesome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a great night. All right. So thank you to John Sanfrantello, captain of that 91 team, a former head football coach here at Batavia and all around great man, a administrator at Genesee Valley BOCES, so still involved in the local area as Pete, the Cougars are on the move.
Yeah, one of the plays that I thought stood out in the last couple plays that we've seen is that screenplay. HFL hasn't been able to efficiently run the screenplay, and Zach Meacham able to catch it and convert a first down, and now another first down. This time it was to Nolan Smith, who had a little bit of toe drag swag action there on the near sideline. Cougars, 1st and 10, threatening into the Batavia territory.
Yeah, this is exactly what HFL needed out of the half. They get the opening kickoff on the move inside Blue Devils territory as Young awaits the shotgun snap. Fakes the flip to Meacham, looking to throw over the middle, and he's got a man wide open. Benjamin Carson into the end zone for the Cougars touchdown. What a drive, capped off by a fantastic play call. Caught Batavia off guard. Carson was wide open in the middle of the field.
And for those who remember last spring's game, it was HFL who scored to end the first half. We saw that again tonight, and again it's HFL who comes out after halftime and scores. Granted, the score is different tonight. It's 20-19 right now, pending extra point, but that is a huge pitch and catch to Ben Carson, who's going to be holding this PAT for the Cougars.
So one PAT away from tying the game, and the Cougars get it 20-20 here to begin the second quarter. And of course, we do have a few more sponsors to get to. Genesee Community College holding a drive-through open house on October 16th. Register online at genesee.edu/visit. Also, George & Swede Sales and Service, a full-service equipment dealership located in Pavilion. Established in 1983, George & Swede has been providing, exceptional sales, rentals, parts, and service for over 35 years. Also, Western New York Concrete, pave your way to success. Since 1946, we've been proud to provide our concrete services throughout the Genesee County and Western New York area. Contact Western New York Concrete today for custom concrete driveways, custom concrete patios, and more. 343-6850. Also, Kenneth Klein, licensed real estate salesperson at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Contact Kenneth Klein, your hometown realtor, providing you with the same level of service when purchasing or selling your home. Also, last but not least, KMS Dance Academy. There's still time to join in on the fun. Call or text 409-6875. This is our 5th year, and we've only just begun. KMS Dance Academy. Dream big and believe. So, Pete, the ensuing kickoff coming up from the Cougars. Batavia, we've seen them strike quickly. What do you think we'll see from them on this drive?
I think Batavia's got to try and come out of the half and be aggressive. They've let HFL now score a couple unanswered touchdowns, and now it's a tie ball game.
Sorry about that. We had 21-20 on the scoreboard. These things can be tricky. Technology always supposed to make things easier, but oftentimes makes things more difficult. But we've had good luck here tonight, as there is a flag on the play. So, Pete, you said it several times throughout the first half, and we can't stress it enough. This game has totally lived up to the hype. A tie game midway through this third quarter, as the penalty is going to go against the Blue Devils.
And I think for Section 5 fans, knowing that this is just a regular season and with the expanded playoff, you know, the structure returning back to the pre-pandemic eight teams make it in, you know, we could see some very exciting matchups in a couple weeks here and potentially see these two teams go at it again.
I think that's what most people want to see. Another rematch in that Class B title game between this Batavia team and defending champion HFL. A good run from Anderson. Breaking free across the 50, inside the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and he's tripped up at about the 8-yard line. We said it, Pete. Batavia can strike quickly, and they continue to do so here tonight. What a huge gain from Anderson inside the 10-yard line of HFL now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who caught him and tripped him up at the 9-yard line, but it's going to bring up 1st and goal. I think it might have been either JT Killenbeck or Colton Miller, the two safeties for HFL. I thought for sure that was going.
So Anderson, 71 yards on the run, and now here's Carter McFollins breaking tackles, forcing his way to about the 5-yard line. So a nice run there from McFollins has Batavia closer to reaching pay dirt.
A 3-yard gain on the play will be 70 from the 6-yard line.
And this has just been a balanced attack here by Batavia. We've seen a pair of rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown. Certainly not the rushing show that we've seen in recent years by the Blue Devils, but they're knocking on the goal line right now.
As we update our scoreboard, it is the third quarter, 7:12 remaining as Anderson takes it near the goal line, but I think he came up just short. Tried to stretch for it, but 1 yard to go before the end zone.
Yeah, I thought he was potentially in as he fell down, but the ref will mark him just short.
So Reinhardt under center, taking it himself. Stopped initially, second effort. No signal yet.
They're going to say he's short.
Still no signal. Touchdown, Batavia! So it took a while, but after a long conference, I would say, between the officials, they ruled it a touchdown. Reinhardt in for 6, and Batavia back in the lead.
Yeah, I believe that's Reinhardt's 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Line drive kick over the crossbar, but no good. Maybe he didn't get over the crossbar. Like I said, a line drive kick, so tough to see from up here, but no good. It remains a 6-point advantage for Batavia. So back and forth we go, like a seesaw, as they say, in this seesaw battle between two top 5 teams in the state.
Yeah, now the pressure shifts back towards the other side of the field. HFL. How do they come out? They scored the last 2 touchdowns and then gave up the huge run to Anderson. That drive ultimately capped off by the QB sneak for the score.
So 26-20, Batavia leads HFL just under 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter. HFL awaits the ensuing kickoff following the Reinhardt touchdown. Once again, my name is Alex Brasky alongside Pete Carosa. This has been a great ball game. Exactly what we expected.
And another missed PAT from these teams. We'll have to see if it affects this game moving forward.
I think if you're Batavia, that might be the last time you can try it, as that one goes out of bounds, and HFL likely going to have great field position here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what HFL elects to do. Believe they have the option to either take the ball or re-kick, and looks like their offense trotting out onto the field, so they'll take the penalty.
So as we've mentioned before, can't say enough about this crowd on hand here tonight. I've been at a lot of home games here since they rebuilt this stadium and put in this massive grandstand on the Union Street side, and this is the most full I've ever seen it. So here come the Cougars, just inside that 7-minute mark as Young awaits the shotgun snap. Sends a man in motion, it's Gould, but the handoff goes to Meacham right up the middle. And there on the stop for Batavia, Vincent Arroyo. Nice pursuit and nice job reading the play by Arroyo, as an HFL player is slow to get up. Looked like it was offensive lineman Charlie Kirby, but he'll remain in, seems to be okay.
And I don't think we've given enough credit to this Batavia defensive line. It seems like every time Meacham's touched the ball, there's been a Batavia defender right next to him. They haven't been able to make the play in the backfield every time, but certainly him having to break a tackle early slows him down, and he's not able to get to the second level with a full head of steam.
So 2nd and 6 coming up. Young, low snap. Able to handle it over the middle, and it's picked off. Carter McFarland's green grass in front of him. Flag behind the play, but McFarland's is in for the touchdown. Another flag comes out. It was after the interception, so I believe the pick will stand, but behind the play, I think this touchdown is coming off the board. So the officials look to sort things out here. 2 flags at different times thrown on that play. And from the reaction of the Batavia sideline, it looked like it could be an unsportsmanlike or a unnecessary roughness call behind the play.
And Alex, I think they're both after the interception, so it shouldn't wipe that turnover off the board.
But
we'll have to see.
But it will take the 6 points away. And Batavia will now be forced to go about 50 yards. So yes, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Blue Devils. And the officials will march this one back from about the 35-yard line, it looks. So a touchdown taken off the board, and Batavia will now begin its drive from, I believe, the 50-yard line.
And those are the type of penalties that are super frustrating for a head coach. And I bet Coach Briggs is really upset with that one, because that now moves the ball all the way back to about midfield. So that goes from 6 points on the board to a ball at midfield. He's got to feel good, though, about the way his offense has been able to move the ball so far.
Absolutely.
So that's the one
saving grace of the whole thing, correct. As much as that penalty hurts you and it takes the points off the board, they have not had trouble scoring on the offensive side of the ball. Reinhardt takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Over the middle, low throw. Looked like it may have been tipped at the line or just a wobbly low throw from Reinhardt.
And that receiver had a ton of separation.
Looked like Arroyo in the center of that HFL defense. Either Arroyo coming onto the field. So that was Carter McFarland's with room to run. But the missed opportunity there.
And I got to imagine that some of the conversation that was happening for this defense in the locker room at halftime was not letting the Batavia receivers get behind them. You know, if we have to, we'll give them the short pass, but we cannot let them throw something over the top.
So there's the toss to Anderson, gain of about 3. And on that note, what you're seeing on this near side for HFL, you're seeing Gould give Javen McFarland's about a 10-yard cushion when McFarland's is spread out wide, and I think you hit it right in the head, Pete. This HFL coaching staff is, we'll give them 10, we're not going to give them 40.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on to see if Batavia reacts to that. If HFL is going to give them that much respect, then let's start throwing the ball short. Let's take advantage of that.
Reinhardt takes the snap, whistle, play blown dead as the Blue Devils are across midfield now, but it's going to be a penalty on Batavia. Now they go back into their own territory, now facing a 3rd and 12. An update from Avon, Oakfield, Alabama, Elba still holds that 21-7 lead over the Braves. Another battle of 2 unbeaten teams. And elsewhere in Section 5, tomorrow, a reminder, Notre Dame taking on Alexander right across the street here on Union Street. Game will be broadcast live on the Batavia Daily News YouTube channel. Reinhardt evading pressure, trying to set his feet, gets away a high, wobbly pass, and it's picked off! Questionable decision there from Reinhardt, lobbing it up into no man's land on 3rd and long. It's picked off by Carson Joint, and the Cougars are going the other way.
Yeah, and if you're Reinhardt there, you just got to live to see another play. Just throw that ball away. I mean, I get it. It's 3rd and 15 there, but
It's not
sure.
the situation like you said earlier with the 4th and long where you throw it up and it's like a punt. That's a 3rd down. You still have an opportunity to punt and flip the field. So certainly a questionable decision there. And now the Cougars are on the move. Meacham, a 1st down run on 1st down.
And as we get further and further into this one, something to think about is because these teams have lopsided scores, their starters don't always play 4 quarters of play. So it can become somewhat of a battle of attrition and defenses getting worn down, and maybe HFL will have a little bit better running success because this Batavia defense isn't used to having to put up a fight for 4 quarters.
And if you look at who's been on the field longer, I think you may say the Batavia defense with these extended drives from HFL, and on the other side, Batavia with the big plays. We don't obviously keep track of time of possession. We don't have that capability, but it'd be interesting to see that at game's end where it's been to this point.
And I think if you're a HFL fan, that's the type of running you're used to seeing from Zachary Meacham. Just a nice power run every time he touches the ball.
So Young and Meacham in the backfield. 2nd and 1. Snap. Pump fake. Finds Carson on the slant for a 1st down. And as this game's progressed, this HFL offensive line has done a progressively better job. Joint in the center of this offensive line. Ryan Gary at right guard. Hayden Meehan at left guard. Charlie Kirby at right tackle and Mitchell Bowling at left tackle.
And let's circle that last play there. Looked like they were potentially thinking about doing a fake wide receiver screen and then throwing the ball deep instead, something HFL likes to do.
And we'll see if they come back to that and maybe go the other way with that play later on.
Yeah, I think that might have been the play call, but just Young realized it during the play, hey, that guy's not open, and he just, because the initial pump fake makes me think that that was the design there, but good job by him reading it in real time and just dishing the ball off to Carson instead.
So 2:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5 coming up for HFL. The ball comes out for a moment. Young able to regain it. We'll see if he kept it going to the ground. And it looks like he did. Crisis averted for the Cougars here. That would have been a big, big error.
Yeah, sometimes between a quarterback and a running back, the hardest thing is that mesh point, that period of time when the ball is in both of their hands. Now, HFL doesn't run a whole lot of options. So typically, if Brody's going to be giving Meacham the ball, he's going to be given to him. He's not going to be pulling out of his breadbasket. So interesting that they couldn't handle the handoff there.
So 3rd and 7. Young and Meacham in the backfield. Low snap. Young back to pass. Gets it away. Breaking a tackle. And now down the sideline is Killenbeck. And he just takes it out of bounds after passing the 1st down marker. So the Cougars inside the red zone as HFL is on the prowl, looking to even things up and perhaps take the lead here.
And that right there is a perfect example of why Coach Russ tries to get the ball into JT Killenbeck's hands. I mean, just watch how he high-stepped along the sideline there. He just has an ability to make plays in open space.
So the Batavia crowd getting into it here. A fresh set of downs for HFL inside the Batavia 20-yard line. Flipped to Meacham, trying to gain the edge, and he cannot. Wrestled down after a loss of 1. McFarland's over there. Looked like Aiden Anderson on good pursuit from the weak side as well.
So HFL trying to run off tackle there to the far side. Didn't quite seem to have the run blocking necessary. I think they've had a little bit better success running right down Batavia's throat this past possession.
1 minute to play in the 3rd. 2nd and long for the Cougars. Young fakes the toss. Up top to Smith, and it falls incomplete. So Nolan Smith went up after it, couldn't make the play off his fingertips, falls to the turf, and HFL facing a 3rd and long now.
Certainly 4-down territory for HFL here, so you really can't rule out anything. It is 3rd and 12, so running the ball here might be a little bit risky unless you feel really confident and able to get a solid, I'd say at least 6 yards on this play. Then I would advise not doing that.
Snap to Young, drops back, looking to throw over the middle. It's complete to Killenbeck. Inside the 5, down at about the 2-yard line. Huge 3rd down conversion, and the Cougars a couple of yards away from tying the score.
Cougars scored 2 of their touchdowns tonight in goal-to-goal situations. We'll see if they can score a 3rd one here.
Batavia's defense looking to come up with a massive, what would be a massive stop here. Young sends a man in motion, hands it to him on the sweep, breaking tackles in the backfield, but eventually brought down after a loss of 2. Caden Marucci in on the tackle, Aiden Gould, the ball carrier for HFL. And it looks like
HFL.
It looks like, excuse me, Pete, I apologize for that. It looks like it's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th. HFL feet away from tying the ball game. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, beginning with Casella Waste. Looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates for local waste removal. Casella, your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Casella, always putting your waste to work. 308-0662 today for a quote. Also, TF Brown's, whether you're looking for a great place for lunch or dinner, a place to relax and enjoy a beverage, or planning any type of party or get-together, TF Brown's is ready to meet your needs and budget. Also, Empire Tractor, your local New Holland dealer, selling a full range of tractors and farm equipment. ET is also proud to sell Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers, which is the world's fastest mower, and they are now selling and servicing the Coyote line of tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Check out their website, empiretractor.com, or visit in person right in front of the Genesee County Fairgrounds. Genesee Community College is having a drive-through open house on Saturday, October 16th. Register online at genesee.edu/visit. Also, George & Sweet Sales and Service, a full-service equipment dealership located in Pavilion. Established in 1983, George & Sweet has been providing exceptional sales, rentals, parts, and service for over 35 years. Whether you need excavators, wheel loaders, trailers, rollers, or skid steers, George & Sweet has the equipment you need, including Hyundai construction equipment. George & Sweet has been a dealer of Hyundai construction equipment since 1994, selling and servicing Hyundai machines longer than anyone in the state. Also, Western New York Concrete, pave your way to success. Since 1946, we've been proud to provide our concrete services throughout the Genesee County and Western New York area. Contact Western New York Concrete today for custom concrete driveways, custom concrete patios, and more. So we'll reset our clock here in a moment. But we have begun the 4th quarter of play with HFL knocking on the door. Young swing pass, Meacham into the end zone for the Cougars touchdown. HFL has tied the game with 11:55 to go in the 4th quarter and could take the lead on this point after.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the missed PAT earlier, potentially playing a factor. Here's HFL's opportunity to take advantage. Big kick here for Xavier Carbonell.
Sorry about that. So 26-26. Awaiting the PAT, it's up, a good kick. And it's good. HFL takes a 1-point lead early on in this 4th quarter. So also, we'd like to thank Howard Hanna Real Estate Services and real estate salesperson Kenneth Klein. Contact Kenneth Klein, your hometown realtor, providing you with the same level of service when purchasing or selling your home. You can count on Kenneth to be there every step of the way. Kenneth looks forward to working with you on your home sweet home. Call him now, 297-0764. Also, KMS Dance Academy. There's still time to join in on the fun. Call or text 409-6875. This is our 5th year, and we've only just begun. KMS Dance Academy. Dream big and believe. So the Casella Way scoreboard reads 27-26 in favor of visiting HFL. 11:55 to go here in this fourth quarter. Batavia awaiting the ensuing kickoff following the Cougars' touchdown.
Brody Young was named Section 5 Class B Offensive Player of the Week this past week, and he has a repeat performance here with 3 passing touchdowns, and we're only at the start of the fourth quarter. Starting to feel like this game's going to come down to whoever touches the football last, Alex.
And that's exactly how we thought it'd be, and it's played out that way. A classic high school football game on tap right here on the Batavia Daily News Facebook and YouTube channel. Still to be awarded at the end of this game, the Casella Waste Athlete of the Game, along with the TF Browns top trench performer. As we got a little bit of a skirmish going on in front of the press box here, Pete, we may have to take cover here. Got people throwing popcorn, a lot of yelling going on. Kids starting to get unruly with the chippiness that, or excuse me, the closeness of this game. Really haven't seen much chippiness, just game starting to get tight.
Yeah, it looked to be Batavia on Batavia crime.
Yeah.
Something you don't see too often in the stands. Usually it's
Yeah,
opposing fans.
You'd be surprised, Pete. You'd be surprised. As a Batavia alum, we get rowdy here in the Blue Zoo. They call it the Blue Zoo for a reason. They've done a great job, this fan section here tonight. They've been into the game from the start, standing, cheering on their Blue Devils. Same thing with the Cougar Freight Train, I think it's called, correct?
Yeah, the Cougar Freight Train coming out here in force. I know definitely one of the big road games that they circled a couple months ago on the schedule.
They were tailgating in the parking lot across the street about 2 hours before game time, the HFL fans. Now, that is dedication.
Yeah, I've actually heard that a lot from various other Class B, broadcasters, ADs. The HFL faithful travel very well.
So 2nd and 5 coming up for Batavia. Reinhardt awaits the snap. 2 men in the backfield with him. Hands it off to McFollins, tripped up, falls down after a gain of 2. 3rd down coming up for Batavia.
So Batavia facing a 3rd and 4 here. Certainly interesting if they can't get it here. Just looking at that clock continuing to roll here in Batavia. Sooner or later, we're going to have to see some of these offenses make some gutsy calls here on what to do.
Reinhardt takes the snap, and met in the backfield is Reinhardt. In there on the stop, Mitchell Bulling, the big man up front for this Cougars defense. What a huge play. It's now 4th and 6.
Big players make big moments and make big plays in big moments. And Mitchell Bulling, he's a guy who's been making plays all year for HFL. And maybe one of the biggest plays that this defense has made tonight. And it looks like that's going to force a punt out of Batavia.
Reinhardt back in punt formation. Batavia needs a good punt here. Good snap, good kick. High arching kick all the way down to the HFL 30. Killenbeck on the return across the 40, nearing the 45, nearing midfield now. And eventually stacked up by a host of Batavia tacklers.
So the HFL offense now with a huge opportunity. They're going to be about at midfield. They lead by 1. We got to see how this Batavia defense responds.
They have not been in a position like this all season. 3 shutouts on the year for Batavia's defense, but not many times have they been faced with a challenge such as this one that is in front of them on this drive. 9.5 minutes to play. Handoff goes to Meacham, and he's able to squirt through there for a gain of about 5. Looked like he was going to be stacked up after a gain of 1, but slithering his way through for a good gain there is Zachary Meacham.
And he's got to be careful there. If he gets stood up, he better have 2 hands on that football. He's already coughed it up once tonight, and you got to think that these Batavia defenders are going to be trying to peanut punch the ball here and generate a turnover.
What a good one we got brewing here. Not even brewing anymore, it's full-on boiling. As Meacham takes the handoff, and he's wrapped around the waist. Nice stop made there. Looked like it was Sheldon Seiverling in there on the wrap-up.
So now it's HFL who's facing the 3rd down. Little bit different situation. They're in Batavia territory. 44-yard line. If it's close, I think they go for it. I like running the ball on those first 2 downs. Keep the clock running.
Young hands it off to Meacham. He breaks free, and that's going to be a 1st down. Looked like Batavia had the angle in the backfield, but unable to make the stop. And Meacham, another 1st down for the Cougars.
Yeah, that moves the chains for HFL and will allow them to take some more time off the clock. If I'm HFL, I'm just trying to run the ball here, just keep chipping away.
And they've done a nice job with ball control here tonight. They put together some lengthy drives here this evening. And a huge stop made in the backfield by the Batavia defensive front. That's a tackle for loss of about 3, 2nd and 13 coming up.
A loss of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 13 from the 43-yard line.
And now that makes it a little bit more difficult for HFL to continue to run this ball. They're going to have to potentially mix in some pass plays if they can't get yardage back here. Obviously, we're still 7 minutes to go, so you're not running a 4-minute offense, but you are trying to chew clock here.
2nd and 13 facing the Cougars. Little misdirection there, doesn't work out. Another tackle for loss by this Batavia defense, starting to bull its neck right at the correct time.
Yeah, back-to-back tackle for losses for Batavia. HFL is going to have to put the ball, I think, in the air here.
Once again, my name is Alex Brasky for the Batavia Daily News alongside Pete Carosa of the Mendon Honeoye Falls Lima Sentinel. Enjoying this game here tonight, the final 6.5 minutes yet to be played here at Detta Stadium, and this one yet to be decided. A 1-point game as a timeout on the field called by the Cougars. So we have yet to talk about this. It's been such a high-paced game, but this is a rematch of the Class B final last season, won by HFL 49-28. A quality first half in that game, as we've seen for the entirety here tonight. A 4th and long play at the end of that first half from then quarterback Reese Joint to then senior wideout Patrick Lustig put HFL ahead and really set the stage for what was a dominant second half from the Cougars. And we've seen them put the pedal to the metal in this second half. Is that a theme that you've seen from them under head coach John Russ, really coming out in the second half, making those adjustments and putting the nails in the coffin necessary to come away with wins?
I mean, I don't think HFL has been faced with a situation. We talked about it at halftime. Both these teams haven't really faced competitive opponents outside of HFL playing Wayne. So you know, HFL certainly seems to have made the better halftime adjustments so far through this one, leading 27-6. But I think for these coaches and these players, they're just thinking about everything 1 week at a time.
5 wide for the Cougars here, or at least 4 wide, maybe one tight end in there as Young pump fakes, looking deep, and it's overthrown. Incomplete on 3rd and long, and I believe the Cougars are going to send out the punting unit with 6 minutes to play in this ball game. 4th down coming up.
Clock running here despite the incomplete pass. And it just was stopped there.
An extra 8 seconds or so taken off the clock.
So, yeah, you got to punt here. You can't go for it back so far up. But great job by the Batavia defense to step up when they had to.
So the punt is away. Sorry about the camera work. I have Pete. Now we have, oh, and look at this. Batavia with a quality return, breaking tackles. Vincent Arroyo would not be denied. Batavia set up with quality field position here, nearing midfield. What a return for the Blue Devils sophomore. As I was saying, you may have missed the kick there. We got fans in front of us offering us money, Pete. Are we doing that good of a job?
I don't know. I guess we'll let the folks at home make the call there, but got to give credit to Xavier Carbonell for slowing down the return man for Batavia. It was ultimately Colton Miller who escorted him out of bounds, maybe even a little bit too much out of bounds. Batavia may be looking for a flag there, but at this point I think the refs are just going to let the boys play, as they say.
This has been a game filled with big plays from Batavia, and another one there from Arroyo. Reinhardt across his body to Carter McFarland's for a gain of about 5. Nice throw there. Nice catch from McFarland's. Second and 5 coming up. Batavia nearing Cougars territory. Ball at about the 49 7/8 line.
I'm interested to see what the play call is here by Batavia. They've obviously had most of the success on the ground tonight. They have had some big strike plays. But 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. They're not limited to only throwing the ball.
Swing pass. Looked like it was McFarland's going up to grab it. Gain of about 3 or 4. Going to bring up a 3rd and manageable for Batavia. Once again, stay tuned near the end of this one for the TF Browns top trench performer, along with the Casella Waste athlete of the game. Those awards will be awarded to Batavia players just due to proximity to Batavia. The winners of those awards getting gift cards to TF Browns here in Batavia, so want to make sure those gift cards go to use. So we will be awarding those 2 awards to Batavia players at the end of this one, but we'll also ask Pete for his standouts from HFL side of things. So 1-point game inside 5 minutes to go. Reinhardt looked like a little bit of confusion in the backfield, but he's able to make something out of nothing and push his way forward for a 1st down.
Phenomenal individual effort by Reinhardt. Play broke down in the backfield. Able to step up, power ahead, get the 1st down for the Blue Devils. And the fans in front of us are loving it.
Approaching the 4-minute mark. Batavia doing a nice job taking time off the clock, but they need to finish this drive with points. Reinhardt, the snap, hands it to McFarland's, breaking through the initial tacklers. And that's a 9-yard gain for Carter McFarland's. Something else going on here, Pete. I don't know if you see the spotlight overhead. Looks like we have a police helicopter of some sort hovering over the north end zone. I don't know, maybe just trying to get a bird's eye view of a great game, or perhaps a pursuit going on here in Batavia.
Yeah, I don't blame him if he's trying to get a better view, although to be honest, I don't think there's a bad seat in the house tonight for this one. Now clock continues to roll, so HFL, no stranger to this situation. When they played Wayne scored the go-ahead touchdown with just under 2 minutes to go, and HFL was able to drive down the field in 2 plays and score.
Reinhardt takes the snap, running it himself, brought down, Bowling in there on the tackle. Didn't go for much. Close to a first down, but not sure if he quite got there. I believe it's going to bring up a third down for Batavia here. Third and very, very short, less than a yard.
Yeah, I thought he was closer than that, and they didn't even bring out the chains here.
I think that's what assistant coach for Batavia, Ben Buchholz, is asking for on the near sideline. Why aren't they measuring this? And it looks like the head official is going to stop play and call for a measurement at the behest of the Batavia sideline. And Batavia thinks they got this.
Yeah, hard to tell from our angle, but I really thought he was close enough to warrant a measurement. A little perplexed why it took so long for them to.
So not sure if you can see there beyond the far side, the spotlight from the helicopter overhead. So if you do see anything flash across the screen, no UFOs here in Batavia.
They're short.
It's maybe a law enforcement issue. And the measurement just a bit short, so a third down coming up for the Blue Devils.
No more than a ream of paper between the ball and the first down marker.
Somebody find Gene Sterator. Get his index card out here. Third and very short for Batavia. We'll see if they put it in the hands of Reinhardt once again. He's going to go under center. And it looks like they're going to go quickly here. Reinhardt takes the snap, pushing his way forward, stood up at the line, falls laterally. We'll see if he was able to get enough before falling to the side there, and he does. First down for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, looked at first, he was maybe stop, but second effort got an extra push from his running backs behind him for the first down.
So first and 10 here for Batavia. 2 minutes to play in what's been an absolute slobber knocker here in Batavia.
Batavia with 3 timeouts, HFL with only 2.
Anderson, the man in motion. Reinhardt flips it out to him, trying to get it to him in space, but HFL's all over it. Ryan Gary in there on the stop, and a timeout called by the Blue Devils. Once again, that will allow us to tell you about our sponsors. Casella Waste, TF Browns, Empire Tractor, Genesee Community College, Georgian Swede Sales and Service, Western New York Concrete Corporation, Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, and real estate salesperson Kenneth Klein. And KMS Dance Academy, we've only just begun. So, timeout Batavia, 1:34 to play. Time winding down in this fourth quarter. And you saw the swing pass to Anderson not go for much, and we haven't seen Batavia test the Cougars down the field since that first half, but as you mentioned before, a lot of that has to do with the adjustments made by this defensive coaching staff on the opposite sideline.
Yeah, definitely. Giving them the respect, trying to take advantage of the underneath stuff, but HFL's been able to rally the ball. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. For Batavia, you're not watching the clock. You got to get in the end zone.
So 2nd and 12 here for Batavia as we adjust our down and distance. 2nd and 12, Reinhardt in the backfield, takes the snap, looking to throw, pump fake, over the middle, bobbled, and incomplete. He had McFollins a little bit behind him maybe. McFollins couldn't go down and secure it. Falls incomplete, 3rd and long coming up. That's a big missed opportunity there as McFollins was open, and that's a good enough pass that I believe the catch should have been made.
Yeah, we've seen him been able to make some spectacular catches tonight. Wasn't able to reel that one in, and if the HFL defenders were paying more attention to the ball, they could have maybe tried to make a play on it.
So 3rd and long, huge play in this game, clearly. Reinhardt lofts it over the HFL defense. McFarland's breaking tackles. Trying to force his way toward that line to gain, but he's going to come up short. 4th down and about 2 coming up for Batavia. The play of the game as the Blue Devils have called for timeout. We've seen Reinhardt take plenty of sneaks in the short yardage, but this is a little bit deeper than we've seen him go from. This is about a 2-yard distance until the line to gain. You have Anderson in the backfield, who's a strong runner. You obviously have Reinhardt, who's shown his ability in short yardage, as we just said. What do you expect that we'll see here from the Batavia offense?
I think if I'm Batavia, I'm putting the ball in Anderson's hands. He's been a huge playmaker tonight, and I'd run it to the left. You know, behind Austin Fernandez, the senior. He's 5'11", 290. Huge size advantage on that left side. I think that's the direction that they're going to go in.
Anticipation is building during this timeout. This 4th down could decide the game.
And I was interested if Batavia didn't take the timeout, came out in a formation, would HFL take a timeout to see how Batavia was going to try and maybe attack this 4th down.
So I know you can see it on the far side. We'll give you a quick look at just how far Batavia has to go to achieve 1st down yardage. And I can imagine we're going to hear this crowd from HFL get about as loud as it's been here tonight on this play. Reinhardt in the pistol to begin this play, sends Anderson in motion, and we have a false start in the backfield. McFarland's jumped.
Can't have 2 men in motion. Batavia gets called, and I'll tell you what, one of my biggest pet peeves, I see it at all levels of football, when it's 4th and short, why do you not line up under center? Why do you start with the ball 4 yards off the line of scrimmage? I mean, maybe it's just a team like Batavia running the spread offense. They're more comfortable getting the ball from the gun. A lot of high school teams don't run things under center.
I think they were clearly going to go to the air there. I think that was the decision made. They were going to look to that swing pass that they've gained 4 or 5 yards on throughout this game, but obviously the play call may change here for Coach Brennan Briggs. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. 4th and 7 facing Batavia. Reinhardt drops back, pumps, under pressure, lets it go deep into the end zone, and it's knocked away by the HFL defense. JT Killenbeck in there on the defense, along with, it looked like Colton Miller back there. Tough to tell, but nonetheless a huge stop made by the HFL defense, and that could do it here as the Cougars lead by 1. 1 minute and 4 seconds remain on the clock. Batavia with 1 timeout remaining.
You need 7 yards, and you put the ball, a 50-50 ball in the end zone. Batavia's, if they can't manage to, well, I don't think they're going to be able to get the ball back because it looks like HFL is going to just knee this one, wind the clock down till the end. But you're going to be looking at the tape, and you're going to be starting to think about what did the quarterback, Jesse Reinhardt, see there? What was the play call there? I just think that Batavia's got to have a higher percentage play on 4th and 7 lined up.
Well, I'm sure that that's what they were looking for, but I believe what happened there was the HFL pass defense came up with great coverage. Reinhardt had nowhere to go back there for about 5-6 seconds, eventually pressured, had to let it go, and give him credit. He saw McFarland's behind the defense, but McFarland's ran out of room with the end line behind him, and that allowed the HFL secondary to catch up, knock it away, force the incompletion, and what's going to turn out to be stick the final nail in the coffin of this Batavia team. Batavia led 20-7 in this game after trailing 7-0, and now they're going to fall 27-26 1-4 against HFL in these two teams' last 5 meetings. The Cougars have had the Blue Devils number. But before we get to our post-game wrap-up, we'd like to present the Casella Waste Athlete of the Game, and we're going to give it to Javen McFarland's. Had a tough drop on that last drive, but plenty of great catches here tonight and a fantastic game on the defensive side of the ball as well. So Javen McFarland's your Casella Waste Athlete of the Game. And the TF Browns top trench performer, we're going to give to Austin Fernandez. Fernandez, a senior, has led this Batavia front all season long, and another good performance here tonight. But it wasn't enough as HFL comes into Batavia's house and is going to walk out with a win, 27-26. The Cougars remain unbeaten. Batavia suffers its first defeat of the season.
And I kind of want to label this somewhat of an upset, Alex. I think coming in, despite the state rankings, I think Batavia was slightly favored in this one. And, you know, HFL is able to get the huge win. I think if you're a Batavia fan, this isn't the sectional playoffs. This is the regular season. We got a whole nother 2 weeks of football, and then we got playoffs. And I'd put money on probably seeing these two teams play each other again, you know, in a couple weeks' time.
What a ball game we had here tonight at Detta Stadium. Both teams turned in a quality effort. HFL 1 point better than Batavia. And like Pete alluded to, this may be a preview of the Class B title game. HFL has had Batavia's number in recent seasons. Now, like I said, 1-4 in these two teams' last 5 meetings. Batavia is 1-4 in these last 5 meetings, excuse me. As HFL has really had the better of this rivalry over the past several years. And while there is plenty of football left to be played, you have to wonder about the psyche of this Batavia team. Do they start to wonder if they can beat this team?
I mean, I think if I'm a player for Batavia, yeah, this wasn't the way you wanted it to go, but it's just going to make you even more hungry. I know, reading the hype about this game, that championship game was very much on their mind. And if these two teams play again, my guess it's probably going to be at a neutral site, because my guess is these two teams finish 1-2, barring any other upsets that occur over the last 2 weeks here. But if they do meet again, it'll more than likely be in the championship at a neutral site. And it's just something else for Batavia to add to the bulletin board for why they want to beat this HFL team. Now, before we do sign off, I want to give credit to 2 defensive players. I know we're always giving credit to the offensive guys, and Brody Young played a great game. But Mitchell Bowling made a stop on defense that forced Batavia to punt, and HFL was able to chew off that clock there in the fourth quarter. And then it was JT Killenbeck who swatted the ball away on that 4th down play to give HFL the ball back and able to end the game here tonight. So 2 defensive players stepping up. I do also want to say that we talked about the kicking game potentially playing a factor in this one.
And boy, did it.
And it did, yeah.
So, there you have it. The Casella Waste Athlete of the Game, Javen McFarland's, the TF Browns top trench performer, Austin Fernandez, and then on the HFL side of things, Bowling and Killenbeck, your top performers, according to the Mendon, Honeoye Falls, Lima reporter, Pete Carosa. So, it was a good one here tonight. Not much more we could have asked for. 2 quality teams doing battle, and they turned in an exciting, exciting contest here in front of what appeared to be close to a capacity crowd here at Detta Stadium. So, for the last time tonight, my name is Alex Brasky for Pete Carosa, signing off here from Batavia, New York. We'll see you next time.